so let's look at where we were at. So I'm going to pull up the rules again. So it's basically a dice game, and we had our first throw, which had certain conditions associated with it. And then we had any other throw after the first throw that had different conditions associated with it. So we had already written the part of the code. First of all, we had this, so we had a couple functions, display rules, you win, you lost, and we were going to fill these in more later. So these are void functions, they just print something out. And then we had our variables, some function calls. And so what we're doing so far is simulating our dice roll. So we have the 2 random dice, our roll total, and then we have an if-else if statement for basically simulating the first roll. And then we were working on this else statement where we have second roll and it had different conditions. So we were going to tell them what they rolled and ask them if they want to roll again, and assuming that they say yes. And we also needed, for this to go into the while loop, we need to have, basically we need to initialize this variable choice to yes or no. I'm going to initialize it to yes just because then it will go into this loop. So, okay, so you rolled. Do you want to roll again? So what do you think we need here? Like, how would we continue this? Yeah, so cin choice. And then assuming that they do, so now we need to decide what we're going to do depending on if they choose yes or no. Yeah, so we could do an if statement. If, which one do we want to do first?
Let's go ahead and do yes first.
Okay, so if choice is
equal to yes or lowercase yes. It's going to do this. And then essentially you can do else, and then that would be the exit program.
so else.
Else.
Just tell them.
Program exit.
Yeah. Exiting. Thank you for playing.
Sweet.
And I think might be some more logic we need to figure out with this else, but let's work on this if statement. So if they do want to roll again, what do we need to do now? So let's look at what we're doing. So if they roll again, I mean, we need to simulate the roll again, right? And then we need to test our conditions. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this roll down here. And there's one thing that we need to do, because for our second condition, we're checking a couple things. First of all, if they roll a 7, they lose. If they roll a number equal to the point, which is basically what they rolled the first time.
So we can store it to a variable called point and then have it so if it equals point, they win.
Yeah.
Along with a couple of other conditions.
Yeah, so thinking about where to do the point. We probably want it outside of this. We need it outside of the loop. So probably here, because this else means they rolled something other than 7, 11, 2, 3, or 12. So I'm just going to do point equals roll total. And then we need to declare point. Okay. So we've rolled the dice the second time, so now what do we need to do? Yeah, so let's see. If, let's see what this is again. So if roll total is equal to 7, that's going to be losing. Do C out, you rolled, whoops, roll total, end line, and then we had a variable or a function for you lost, so you lost, and then what's our else, or else if? And then this is going to be, well, we want to tell them what they rolled again, so C out, you rolled, and then this is roll total, end line, and then this one means they won, so I'm trying to remember what I called that. You win. So you win. And then I don't know if we need anything else. I don't think we need another if or else if, because if they roll anything other than those two numbers, it's just going to go back up, tell them what they rolled, and ask them if they want to roll again. So let's actually compile this and see what it's doing. That's usually a good thing to do at pretty regular points while you're writing code. So this is craps. All right. So we won right away, so. All right, so you rolled a 9. Do you want to roll again? Let's just do yes. We rolled a 9.
Rolled another 9.
So there's something wrong with this because it's asking if we want to roll again even though we won. So we're going to need to figure that out. If they win or they lose, we
Set
probably...
choice no.
Yeah, so we want to set choice to no, so then the loop will exit.
Yeah.
So choice equals no.
Sweet.
And there was something wrong with the formatting, so I want to put some end lines after some things.
I get that.
Yeah, so probably put one here. And we're going to type out the rules a little bit later, but let's put some in here just so things are a little bit more separated. Do you see anywhere else to put one? Maybe here. All right, let's see what this is doing now. No. Okay, so I rolled a 5. Do you want to roll again? Yes. 4. Yes. 8.
Wait a second. We rolled it. Oh wait. Yeah, it's 5. Never mind.
Yeah, so we were looking for a 5, so we lost.
Oh.
Try this again. Well, we won that time. See, do you want to roll again? Hit no, see if that's working. Okay, so that's working. Roll to 5.
Oh, we won.
See.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. Okay, so let's make a few changes. Well, so what we want to do, now that we kind of have one game working, we want to make this so it'll keep repeating the game. So ask them if they want to keep playing the game. But before I do that, I want to make a function for, like, notice how we have the cout you rolled a whole bunch of times? So let's make a function for that, because now we know how to send data to a function. So we can have a function that receives the roll total and displays it. So let's, yeah. So void, I'm going to call it display roll. And we're sending it an integer, right? So let's just call it roll. And then basically we're just going to copy and paste this into our function. And then change this to roll. And then what we need to do, so we have the function now. Now all we need to do is go put display roll as, or basically our function call everywhere that we have that line. So right here, let's do display roll, and then this is just going to be, let's see, that was roll total, right? So now we can just copy and paste this. Yeah, so do this. Right here. I think that was all of them. So do you see right away how much easier this is to read? Like, because the functions are pretty descriptive as to what they're doing. So like with this if statement, display roll, you win. With this if statement, display roll, you lost. So this is one really nice thing about using functions. It really makes your program readable. So we just made a pretty big change with a function, so let's make sure it's still working. So roll to 10, let's roll again. We won, so it looks like it's still working. Unless it's, oh, the time it lost. Okay, sometimes I wonder if it, like, where I got 2 in a row that were basically the same, it's like, oh, is there a logic error somewhere? But yeah, this looks like it's working. So now what we want to do is we want to make this game so the game repeats. So basically what I want to do, so I'm not going to ask the user if they want to play again. I'm just going to display the menu. So I'm going to have a menu that is something like hit 1 to play, 2 to quit. So I'm thinking just something like, so let's do a function with a menu. And this is just going to be a void function because it's just displaying a menu. So let's do cout, and then select, well, let's just do, would you like to play? And then, oh, and I need a semicolon. Just do something like 1 to play and 2 to quit. So basically, it's just going to display this menu to them when it starts and ask them if they want to play. And if they hit 1, it's going to play the game. If they hit 2, it's just going to quit. So let's go down here. We might want to, once we start playing around with this, we might want to display the rules each time in case the user needs to be reminded of the rules. But for now, let's just start our menu. Let's ask, so display the rules, then we're going to start our loop where so basically we're only going to display the menu once. And then we're going to say, would you like to play or quit, and then each time the loop runs, it's going to ask them if they would like to play. So basically after each game, would you like to play, 1 to play, 2 to quit. Depending on how this goes, we might want to put the display rules inside that loop so they get the rules every time too, but I'm going to do I think, so we could do a do while. The problem with a do while is it's going to run the entire thing once, no matter what they select. So I almost think a while loop will be better since we're going to give them the option to quit right away. So just do a while. But a do while would work. You would just have to force the program to quit early if they hit no. So let's do while. And I'm asking for an integer, so basically a 1 or a 2 to run the program. So we need a variable name for this. So we use choice for the yes or no for whether they want to play again. So yeah, selection might be good. So let's do while selection is equal to 1. So basically while they're saying they want to play, then we'll run it. So then we need an integer that's selection, and I'm just going to initialize it to 1 right away so this loop runs. Otherwise the loop isn't going to run, it needs a value. And then what I'm going to do is make things smaller for a minute so it's easier to see where to
put your braces.
Yeah. So we're basically running the entire thing. So yeah, that's this outside one. So this goes here. Actually here. Oh, that doesn't look right. This can get kind of turn into a pain. Okay, so it's that outside one. So it looks like it goes here. I don't like how these two are lined up though. So I have the while. See, this else should be here. So I think this one should be moved over 1 tab. Okay. So now I'll make this bigger again. Okay, so while selection is 1, we're going to display the menu, so we just need to do our function call. And then what do we need after we display the menu? Yeah, we need the cin and selection. And then we probably want to make sure that they entered something valid. So let's just do a loop here, and basically, while it's not valid, then we're going to keep asking them for a different selection. So let's just do while selection is
The exclamation point makes it
does not equal 1, or selection does not equal 2, Let's see. Cout. Enter a valid selection, and then we could just display the menu again. So \n, and then just menu and cin selection. All right, and then we need, if they enter 2, we don't want it to run all of this other stuff, right? So we probably want to put all of this inside of an if statement if their selection is 2, and then else if it's, or sorry, if their selection is 1, we'll run all of this stuff, else if it's 2, we're going to exit. Does that make sense? I'm kind of making this up as I go along, so some of this might not work out the first time. Okay, so if selection is equal to 1, and then we want to move all of this over again.
Can we use no, never mind. We don't want to use those.
The quit.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's better not to use those. Just because the logic is a lot harder to figure out. And then we need our else here, so else, and this is just going to be quitting. Looks like I have extra. I have an extra brace somewhere. All right, so that's the while. If else. Don't know if that's it, but we'll find out. So else, so cout, exiting, thank you for playing, \n. Okay, let's see if this actually works. So, line 53. No semicolon there. And then we have an else without a previous if, 118. Okay, so this must all right, sorry, it's tiny. I think that this is it though. All right, so make this bigger again. See if it's actually working. So you see how those can kind of turn into a pain, even like when you indent everything, it's just, sometimes it can be kind of hard to keep track of things. Okay, so would you like to play? Let's do 1. And something is wrong with that. So we need to look at our, where we have would you like to play. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, this should be and. Okay, so would you like to play? Let's hit 1. You rolled a 5. Do you want to play again? Yes. Looks like we won. Do you want to play again? Let's do yes, we want to play. You rolled a 9. Do you want to roll again? Yes. Yes. Looks like it's mostly working. Next time we're going to look at how to get data back from a function, so then we'll work on this code some more and